Okay, so hey guys, I promised that I'd do a Sherlock review, so I'm going to do that now. This is actually the last day of my holidays, and it's been really productive. All I've done is watched the old school episode of Raw, so that's good. I will just say now, my dog's going fucking crazy today, so if they start making noise, this is like 10 to 100 at trying to make this video, so if they start making noise, I'll just give up. There we go, right on cue. So first I want to talk about the mini episode. All I really want to say is it was an absolutely brilliant build up. You know, all it was there to do really was to sort of raise excitement and to show a little bit more feels for John, and you sort of saw just how lonely he was. Then we've got episode 1, which was the empty hearse, which is based on the empty house, because I've actually got the book of all the Sherlock stories, which I'm slowly getting through, and it's awesome. All this episode, I feel, was really to do was to reintroduce us to it. It was very sort of, obviously everyone's been really hyped for this to come back, and it was all about just John and Sherlock and their sort of friendship. John's reaction was great, you know, the fact that he was really sort of just pissed off and aggressive. I just thought it was brilliant, and the scene in the restaurant, I just found it so funny, because it's one thing I've noticed this series is Sherlock has become so much like just more human and has a greater sense of humour. The funniest scene for me was when it was jumping between Sherlock and John, and you had the cough, and John with his middle finger up putting his glove on, and it was just to sort of show where John currently stood when it came to Sherlock. We were introduced to Mary, and I think she's a great character, and I think we can trust her, because of course Sherlock seems to have warmed up to her because he did his whole analysing thing, and if he can't find anything wrong with her, then she must be nice, which is good, because usually you meet these women in these kind of shows and they seem nice and they turn out to be just dicks. So let's hope she doesn't. She probably will now. Now that I've said that, I've ruined it. Obviously you had the terrorist plot, the Guy Fawkes theme to it, which made for the bonfire scene was quite tense, which was good, and then you had the bit on the train, on the underground. It was quite cliche, the fact that it was just like, oh, there's a switch on it. I think it was just for added sort of humour more than anything, but yeah, it was a little, I don't know, it wasn't the best end, but it was a quite sort of funny way, and brought John and Sherlock back together, which was good. And obviously then you had obviously the death theories. I thought it was so funny that throughout we saw that the girl from My Mad Fat Diary, she had her theory, which was basically, if you go on Tumblr, that's what every fucking girl on Tumblr would love to be the death theory. And then you had Anderson's at the start, and then you've got Sherlock's own, but I think we still don't know the full truth behind it. And then of course at the very end of the episode we saw good old Charles, stalking Sherlock hard, so he's supposed to be the next big bad guy for Sherlock. Then we had episode 2, The Sign of 3. My first sort of thought, right, basically, you've got, in series 1, we had episode 2, The Blind Banker, which was my least favourite of that series. Then we had, in season 2, we had episode 2, Hounds of the Baskerville, my least favourite of the series, and what most people say is the worst Sherlock episode. So I was like, oh no, it's episode 2. And it turned out to be the best episode of Sherlock they've ever made, ever. It was fucking awesome. I was really worried though, because at the start when John got married and then they were taking pictures and stuff, I thought that like his marriage was going to be a side note and then they were going to carry on with the episode doing something else. So I was relieved when the episode focused around his wedding, like reception, so we still got to see it. Obviously, the big thing was Sherlock's speech, and I liked how you still got to see them solving cases as part of his speech. The speech was ridiculously touching, like, just everybody was going mad for that speech, because it's like I said, Sherlock has really, really been humanised. You know, we've seen a much softer, nicer side to him, which was brilliant. The drunk scenes, obviously, these are the best scenes we've ever seen in Sherlock. Just without a doubt, they are so, so good. And just so funny. They were so well acted, because I said, in like American movies and stuff, that's not how people act when they're drunk. Whereas proper British series like this show what everyone is like when they're drunk, and it was so it was just so funny. It was the fact that even his deductions were drunk, and just the whole thing was absolutely brilliant. When they were playing the game and Sherlock had Sherlock Holmes as the person he had to guess, that was brilliant. Another thing that I found interesting is that while he was trying to solve the case of the Mayfly man, all these women thinking that they were dating ghosts and all the rest of it, you see the woman from season 2, and he says, "Oh, get out of my head." And I thought that was quite cool, at how he's still sort of thinking about her after all this time. And then, of course, at the very end of the episode, we had the dance. And people said it was quite sad that Sherlock didn't get to dance at the wedding, even though he really loves to. And, of course, the news, or the speculation, that Mary is pregnant. So, all in all, that was a brilliant episode. This series is really good. So I'm excited. Obviously, next episode is episode 3. So, we should just have to see. So, thanks, guys.